To answer the question, is it worth it? It all comes down to your market. That is the biggest factor. So when it comes to roadie, is it worth it? First question, where do you live? If you live out in the hills or mountains and there ain't no stoplights, it's a dirt road and not a lot of people, probably not gonna be good. It's probably gonna be a waste of time. There's just not enough, it's not enough work. If you live in a major city and you're centrally located and it's a top city and a lot of people, like over 1 million people, it's probably gonna be something there for you. So that being said, let's talk about roadie, what it is, what it's about, and if it's worth looking into. So I've been doing roadie for about 6 months. Roadie is an app that you can download, Android, iPhone, download in the App Store, and it's a delivery gig app. So what you would be doing is you would be picking up items from a location and driving them to a different location. Now, Roadie is contracted with companies like Home Depot, Interstate Batteries, floral shops, tire shops. I've even done one from Boot Barn, delivering a cowboy hat to some person. So it's a whole range of items you could be delivering. They have contracts with all types of companies. So again, it depends on your market. In my area, it's a lot of Home Depots. I'm close to a lot of Home Depots, so I see those pop in. There's also pharmacy. So you'll see a lot of those pharmacy delivery where you're delivering medications from a random pharmacy to a customer. Roadie is actually owned by UPS. Interesting. They were purchased, I don't know, maybe a few years ago, if not more. I don't know. I don't remember. So they got bought out by UPS. So technically they're owned by UPS. So they're getting into, the gig space. As they see, it's a lot more cost effective for these big corporations to get people like you and me to use their car, our car, and take stuff from point A to point B. So, Roadie, how hard is it to use? I like Roadie. It's really easy. It's really a smooth process in my experience. It's quick to download. The onboarding process is very fast, very quick. So I highly recommend to try it if you're in a major city. So I'm going to go ahead and show a screenshot of my earnings so far, how many gigs I've done, and roughly how much I'm making per mile. So when you factor it down per mile, it's definitely worth it. However, with Roadie, it's good to supplement, but it's not going to be something you can really depend on full time. Just in my experience, I've tried. There was one day that I just try to do Roadie all day. And yes, it's possible to make over $100, but you can be doing some waiting and you may have to turn down some offers because they're not that great. So is it worth giving it a shot? If you're in a major city, yes. So how does the app work? So it's similar to other apps where you will see offers and then you have the option to submit and get approved for that offer. So the way the app works is the home screen is going to show a map. Okay, it's going to show your GPS location where you are, and then it's going to show little dots, little circles if there's offers. So what you do is you just tap on that circle in that area, and then it's going to give you some basic details on the gig. So for example, if you see a Home Depot one, it's going to tell you the location, the address, a approximate dimensions of the item you're going to be picking up to see if it actually would fit in your car, approximately how much it weighs, and other basic details. Also, it gives you an estimated start time that it prefers that you leave at, and then how many miles, and all the basics. So what's good about Roadie is a lot of them you don't have to start right away. You're not rushing. They give you an adequate amount of time. It's not like time sensitive like Amazon Flex is, and you'll see information on that in the app. So how much does Roadie pay? It depends on the gig. Now, everyone who is using Roadie to ship items, like for example Home Depot, they set their own prices. So what they do is they'll set a price, and then if not a driver like you or me accepts the offer, then they can increase the price to try to get someone to actually do it. What I found in my experience in the past 6 months with all the gigs that I've done is with Roadie, I'm getting close to $2 a mile, which is pretty good. The problem is it's not that many miles. So one gig could only be 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles. I'm not really seeing a big amount of miles per gig, but I would say the compensation is similar to what you may find with a Grubhub or DoorDash. Now, I don't do those. That's not my specialty, but I know people who have and see kind of what their numbers look like. But yeah, so with these Roadie ones, they'll be $10. You'll see gigs for $10, $15, $20, up to $50, just depending on the particular gig. But you can anticipate anywhere from $1 to $2 a mile. Usually, if the offer you see is less than $1 a mile, I wouldn't mess with it. I need at least $1 a mile to make it worth it. So another type, so this reminds me of another type of Roadie gig that will depend on your location. For me, I'm close to an airport, so I get gigs from Delta. And Delta contracts with Roadie. So for anyone who had their luggage lost, I'll pick it up at the airport at Delta baggage claim and deliver it to the customer. Now, Delta in my market pays close to, $2 a mile. That's what I found. At least $1 a mile. It depends. You'll see on the app. But I like those because some of those can be 30, 40 miles. So an airport one, a luggage one, I could get anywhere from like $30 to $60, just depending on how far I'm driving out. So Roadie, what do you need to get started with Roadie? Not much. You need obviously a vehicle, functional car. They don't care about the year. They don't care if it's beat up. You don't have to send pictures. You don't have to show cosmetically that it looks decent or that it doesn't have bumper stickers like some other apps. Insurance, registration, the basics. I would say the onboarding for Roadie was the quickest that I've done. You just upload your documents, and I believe they do a background check. I don't know. I forget. All I know is that I signed up for Roadie, and a few days later I was set to go and I could start accepting offers. Now, here's my experience, and I don't know if other people who have used Roadie can relate to this. When I started Roadie, it was hard for me to get traction in the beginning to actually get accepted offers. I don't know how many times I submitted offers and would not get accepted. So that's a whole nother issue. So Roadie says that they use an algorithm. It's not an actual human that's matching you with these offers. It's an algorithm that bases their selection on how close you are to the pickup location, what your rating is, how many gigs you've done, so on and so forth. But So it took me like 2 or 3 days before I got my first gig. So once I got my first gig, I started to gain more traction, and I found that I was able to get more gigs now, and I was able to work up my ratings. Now I have, I think, over 30 ratings, so that of course helps with the algorithm to get you accepted for more gigs. So the way Roadie works is, if you see an offer you like, on the bottom there'll be a green bar, and you just click on that to submit offer. Then it's going to give you a notification that your offer has been submitted, and you may have to wait up to 15 minutes to determine whether you got approved for that. Now, if you do get approved to work that gig, you're going to get a notification. You can start the navigation in the app, and then you can accept the gig, and it'll tell you the time you need to show up and all the details. And then you're going to get the customer information, so on and so forth. You're going to get contact information for the customer if you have any issues, and everything like that. So now let's get to the part of, if you do have issues, contacting Roadie, contacting customer service. All I can say for that is good luck. Has anyone who used Roadie ever gotten through to a live person? Luckily, in my experience, I've only had to call Roadie customer service maybe a couple times with some issues delivering, and I was on hold for maybe an hour. Then it just hung up on me. Another time, maybe about 45 minutes. After that, I was like, forget that, waste of time. So hopefully you won't have any issues that can't be resolved in the app, because if you have to try to call, good luck trying to get a hold of someone. That's what sucks about Roadie, is there is non-existent customer service. I haven't tried email. I try to use the they have an in-app chat that I try to get something resolved. Nothing. So it's good, other than customer service. If you have to talk to someone, good luck. So overall though, getting set up with direct deposit, they also have an instant pay offer. That's pretty smooth. So what I like is, hey, I did the deliveries. They usually get approved within 24, 48 hours, and then they pay you every Tuesday. After you've done enough, you can opt in to the instant pay. They deduct a small fee, but then you can get direct deposited right that same day. Depending on your bank, it may hit your account in 1 to 2 days. So as far as getting paid, what you do in that turnaround time, that's all great. Everything I've done for Roadie, I've been paid, never had any issues with that. So all about that. Also, if you ever have to do parking, pay for parking or tolls or anything like that, really easy to do in the app. Just snap a picture, upload it. It takes like 3 or 4 days to get approved, and they'll compensate you for that. So overall, do I like Roadie? Has it been worth it for me? Yes and yes. Again, big reason is because I'm in a major city. Is Roadie something I can live off full time? No. I mean, technically I could try, but what I found is, as far as the best times to use Roadie, 9 a.m. till about 6, 7, sometimes later if you're doing airport luggage deliveries, but it's mainly retail hours. I've been up early, 7, 6, 7, 8, haven't really seen too many gigs at that time. So 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. seems like the best window that I've seen for Roadie. What else can I think about Roadie? Right now, I'm not using Roadie that much because I'm doing UPS PVD full time, and I get plenty of hours, more than I can handle, and they pay per mile and everything. Roadie doesn't, either does Amazon Flex, but it's all good. So I'm going to be doing UPS PVD through middle of January, hopefully, and then I'll get back on Roadie and Amazon Flex, which is what I was doing before. So do I like Roadie? Yes. Was it easy, smooth setup? Yes. Do they pay you? Yes. It's legit. They're owned by UPS, so it's a legit app. And overall, I do like it. I just wish there was more gigs, and you have to be choosy sometimes. I don't accept anything less than $1 a mile. A lot of them I can get up to $2 a mile. Overall, I'm averaging about $2 a mile from all the gigs I've done. I'll show you the screenshots there so you can kind of get an idea to see if it might be worth it to you. So yeah, let me know what you think. Comments, like, subscribe if you want. If you don't, that's cool too. Either way, I'm going to be making these videos, trying to give you guys the lowdown on these gig apps. See if it's worth it. Not all of them are. My big three are Amazon Flex, Roadie, and UPS right now, but it's only seasonal. I started downloading some other ones. I'll probably do other videos on that. Haven't had the time to use them. So, hope everyone has a good day. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll talk soon. Peace.